Well, hello and welcome to another edition of our Cast 5 podcast. Today I'm joined by Rohan and Theo.
What's up,
How's
y'all?
it going?
So we're going to do things a little differently this week. Got a couple of topics I want to chat to you guys about. And some gaming news and things that might be interested to you guys. But before we get started, I just want to introduce ourselves for any people. Well, thank you for our returning viewers. But if you guys haven't seen us before, we are Cast 5. We're a group of friends that just like to
SWB audio capture not
review all sorts
registered.
of things: video games, movies, TV shows, all sorts of things. Check out our channel. We stream lots of games as well. If you're really interested in our stuff, we have a podcast as well on all the major podcast services: Spotify, Apple, and Google. And what am I missing, guys? Patreon. That's it. If you really like our stuff, please check us out on Patreon. You have early access to lots of different content and some exclusive access to some exclusive behind the scenes or suggestions for future videos. So check us out. And if you really like this video, give us a like. That would really help us out. And check out some of our stuff. But before we get fully started, what have you guys been up to this week?
Man, I've been trying to catch up on some Last of Us.
All right.
Last of
Up
Us,
indeed, yeah.
that's still going on. And don't worry, I am on the last chapter in winter, so it's gonna get done before the year's done, bastards. No faith, but it's okay. It's getting there.
What was the original bet? Was it the end of April or by Fire's birthday, which was
By Faiz's
2
birthday.
days
His
ago?
birthday, I think
Oh,
it
okay.
was.
Yeah, by Faiz's birthday.
But we
Yeah.
changed it
Yeah,
now to
that-
the end of the year, right? So you still got
Yeah, but
time.
it doesn't really count. But it's like, well, okay, fine, but like that's just the same. It's gonna get
We
done.
changed it to a more realistic goal.
Yeah, Theo, what's that? Yeah, no suggestions. That's okay. Don't worry. You think on that for a second. Don't worry. I'm sure you come up with something interesting. But yeah, Last of Us, man. That's still. But I have to say, I've been going deep in Lost Ark, man, and yeah, I'm trying to. I'm really my goal for Lost Ark is just to finish the actual main story quest,
Mhm.
and to get there. You have to,
SWB audio
get to a certain
capture
item level.
not registered.
Very similar to like Final Fantasy 14
Okay.
levels kind of thing.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'm getting there. I'm item level 916. I think the
Ooh.
final like story item level required to finish though, like the main story is 1100. So
Huh. Alright.
hopefully in a few months. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Theo,
Yeah.
How
what
much
about you?
grinding do you have to do for that?
grinding? Oh, dude, it can
Yeah.
be grinding, but like mostly the grinding is happening at like the end game.
But that's your kind of game,
Oh.
though, isn't it? Like you like doing the grind. Well, for that kind of game, like you get really stuck in like you can't be just anything else. Like you just grind the hell out of that game.
I get the thing is though, like I'm not gonna be like grinding like a whale or anything like that, or like a streamer. You can't like I have a job and stuff. Like, we all have a job. Right? I can't grind like that, right? And like and so like you'll always be like behind,
Yeah.
right? In terms of like the highest content that you can do because you just don't have the time to grind like all the other people.
The
who just, like,
highest content grinds are like a different territory entirely.
yeah, exactly. Yo. And that's not me. That's not what I want to do with this game. I want
Yeah.
to actually see the final story, like not the final story. The final fourth story is like all like dungeons and raids and shit like that, right? Which the dungeons and raids that you do have available to you as you are progressing are damn good, are really cool and really interesting, and I'm having fun with it.
All right.
But yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Theo? What have you been up to?
Just trying to like wrap my head around how the online Yu-Gi-Oh game works.
Mm.
I started, looked at the layout, and then I just exited out of the layout and exited out of the game.
Is
I
it
did
that
not know
confusing?
Yu-Gi-Oh was that fucking complicated.
dude, no, dude, you have to give it a chance. You actually have to at least try. Okay, at least go do the solo content, like in the actual like.
Well, I will give it a
SWB audio
chance, just-
capture
I
not
went in, I saw the
registered.
layouts and like all those new login things and all those like all the stuff that like new what do you call it, game as a service things have, like login every day and all those other things.
that gives
and
you
like the 10 different currencies. Like even though I got used to it from Final Fantasy, it's still a hassle.
it's the one. It's like these crystals. It's the one, and
Yeah.
like they help you. They help you get like to like unlock different cards that when you do unlock different sets, right? Then you could use those sets to actually build out your decks that you want to make. Man, they pretty much up. I forgot which set. I believe the Master Duel online you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
With me, like they're like 3 sets behind, right? So like for the majority, pretty much all of Yu-Gi-Oh, they all have it online, so you can make your stupid annoying clown slash
I
warrior
know they
deck
have
work.
every card in existence.
Hmm.
I looked at the list, I was like,
Is
damn,
it
wasn't
using
didn't look like this 10 years ago.
is it using the old version of Yu-Gi-Oh, like the ones that you guys used to playing,
No,
or
it's using the
the new one?
new one.
Ooh.
But you
There's
can like
everything.
organize your own stuff and have like different like in the actual options you could actually
Mhm.
set different like hand cards and stuff like that,
All
right?
right.
And then you could have your
Yeah,
specific.
I mean, I am interested, so I'll definitely get through it. It's
Let me
just,
know when you're actually gonna go online, so maybe we could actually like organize
oh,
something,
for
and me,
sure, for
you, and
sure.
freaking Farhad, we just make our own little freaking mini tournament, and we could like maybe put that up on Patreon and see like
Yeah, absolutely.
if
Traumatize
anyone
everyone
interested.
again. I'm down for that.
Fine, fine, but like my decks are OP anyways. I have to make something new for you guys so you could at least be competitive. But it's
Your
okay.
decks read like a novel, okay?
That's Yu-Gi-Oh now, though. That is
Yes,
Yu-Gi-Oh
that
now.
is
I'm
the new
sorry.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
That is
The
Yu-Gi-Oh
decks
now.
read like an MMORPG. It's like Yurianche wrote every single description.
Well,
Nah, man.
aside from that, I ended up finishing Horizon Zero Dawn, the story. I think not Zero Dawn, Forbidden West. I was
Yeah, you did
putting it
that
off for a
everything else.
while because I was like, I wanted to get like the really good weapons, the really good gear, and then like I knew like once you start it, it's gonna be like a grind and like a couple of big boss battles.
So
But
you
it
like
was
endgame farming as well, okay.
yeah, and I've been
Yeah,
doing
the completionist.
Final
He's a
Fantasy
completionist.
Endwalker as well. But yeah, I finally finished Horizon. I
How did it? How was it for you?
I
Did you
liked it.
actually?
The story ending, I liked it at the
Yeah.
time, and now I'm sat and thinking about it. It's like they basically just set it up for a third game, effectively.
Oh, so like they left things that you wanted to have answered like up in the air a little bit, and
Yeah.
you're like,
So it's like, I mean,
But
it
it
was
wasn't like the last of two kind of thinking. It was just
nah, it was like,
okay.
yeah, it's definitely like,
It was
with
just
the first
regular
game,
thinking.
like they still left it, like they wrapped up the story really well, but left a slightly like ambiguous ending where like that's what they used for the second game, which worked out well. But with this one, is more like it's more pronounced. It's like, yeah, we've done this game now, but like we're not gonna kind of wrap up the story properly. Like we're just gonna like basically just leave it open. With the first game, it was like it was fully wrapped up,
Yeah.
but there was still a way to expand it. But with this one, they didn't really
Yeah, like
wrap it
they
up
left
completely.
I remember the first game they left like this one loose thread that's like,
Yeah.
okay, that thread could become really thick
Yeah.
if they wanted it to.
So
Yeah.
instead of leaving one loose thread, they've left an entire rope, and it's just like,
Oh my
I don't
god.
know.
Oh,
It's
does it feel
I don't
cheap? Do you feel like it felt
no,
cheap?
no. Like the story writing was phenomenal. It was really good. But it's just like, I don't know. I wanted a little more kind of like full circle-y kind of stuff, like
Closure
more wrap it
kinda.
up. Like,
Are you down? Okay, so
oh,
okay,
I
so
would love a third game.
Of course he's down.
Are you
Like-
down for climate for the third game?
Oh yeah, like the way they've left it
Okay.
and the story, the way it's going, it's gonna be so good. But I don't know.
Okay.
For me personally, it's I don't know what it is. I like when the game ends. I like the story to kind of wrap up much better than that. But it was
Oh, I
still
get what
good.
you mean.
I really enjoyed it.
Right? So
It
you
was a
feel
bit too like it sounded like it was a bit too open the way they
Yeah.
left it.
Like even with the Last of Us, like the first game, they wrapped that story up pretty well. But then they
Yeah.
still have the ability to expand it. And the same with the first Horizon. It's just this one they left, yeah, instead of a thread, they left a rope, and now it's like. But I still enjoyed it. I still really liked the story. The game on a PS5 is phenomenal.
I can say in the first one they left like a rope, in the second one they just left a fucking spider web.
Yeah.
Is that okay? So that's how
Yeah,
it feels
that's
like.
pretty much, yeah. But apart from that, I decided to mess around with Cyberpunk. Now that we have that
Oh, this
on,
guy did actually get to it. First out of all of us, we
I've
were
been
all
playing
like,
it for
it's gonna be later.
about a couple of hours now. The story is good. I really like the story, but
So now, bud,
there's
how does it
still
actually
glitches.
play?
It's nothing on the
Oh,
level of like J1. Like when you look at like some of the YouTube reviews
obviously.
and stuff and how
Yeah.
bad the game was, it's not like that anymore. But it's still
Does it
there's
break
still
your
odd
immersion? Does it break?
issues. No, not particularly. I think it's just because we're so used, like, I don't know, when you think of Cyberpunk, you think of glitches now. And it's like, it's just
It's
always in
unfortunate.
the back of your head when you're playing it. So when you do, like,
Oh,
see
you're looking
something,
for it. You're
yeah,
looking
you're
for it
always just looking for it, or you see it and it just stands out mainly
more. Okay.
because you're paying attention more to that kind of stuff.
Mm,
Like, for me, with other
Look
games,
out
like,
for
I'll
it.
see a glitch and I don't really care. Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
unless
Yeah.
it's really bad and it really, like, sticks out. Like Horizon had the odd few because like they're still doing updates for it, but nothing major that like broke the game for me. Like I still enjoyed it and the gameplay was still fine, but yeah, Cyberpunk it's not too bad. The story's good, but yeah, there's odd small things where it's just yeah. But we'll see.
Especially since I know one of your favorite games is Red Dead 2 and how polished that
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Mm.
The thing that must suck is the fact that the studio, what's the studio called again?
That's a good
Um,
question.
Uh, oh god
yeah,
damn
what
it. But,
was
like
it?
they've been
Witcher
known,
3
right? Especially for
Studio.
the Witcher series, right? This
Oh
like
yes, yeah. They
super
were yeah.
expensive and super polished. The game's coming out when it's ready. Like that type of rhetoric that they've all been pushed. That always been like
CD Project
like,
Red.
yeah, CD Project Red, right?
Yes.
That's the Scandinavian gaming company,
Mhm.
right? And then just then all of that just down the drain from one particular release, but it was hotly touted for so long,
Mm.
and then just put out this pretty much turd, right? Unfortunately, that's what it turned out to be, right? But now even all the fixes, right? What
Yeah.
you're saying when you actually play it, a good a story as it may be, and maybe decent gameplay and good gameplay, it's always gonna be played with that in the back of players' mind.
Mhm.
And what you said, like when it comes up when these glitches, as innocuous as they may be, it has like
Yeah, it's
neon
still
signs
kind of
now
yeah,
just
yeah.
as virtue of its storied history of all of its like
Yeah.
technical glitches and its bad release, right?
Mhm.
So like I'm still gonna be one that's gonna be like pushing that off until later because like it's still a little salty for me because
Yeah.
I really was looking forward
I
to
just
this, but
figured
now
I'd
it's
try something
um,
that was like a little different, especially spending like when I was playing Horizon, I was playing it a lot, like hours at a time for like the last couple of like weeks. So I was like, yeah, this one's something just to mess around on, see what it's like. Yeah, play it a little more casual. Yeah, it's something not too bad. I found a lot of the actual not like some of the gameplay is a little slightly complicated when it comes to like modding your character and like getting all these like extra like gear and stuff. Like the gear kind of aspect of things is a lot more in depth, and I don't really
yeah.
have the energy or the time to really kind of like explore that.
But that was like one of the selling points, right? Because
Yeah,
like it's a like well like the cyberpunk kind of
yeah,
like
you can like get all these body
like
modifications and
burst
everything
kind of
else
thing,
like
right? It's
that.
always yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
right?
But I was like looking
So
at it
that
and I was like, this is like way too complicated and I don't really care.
see, that's
I'll
the
just
best
put
part of
on the
my
ones that the story give me and that's about it. I'm not gonna go out exploring to get the best gear or anything like that. Like, yeah.
Probably later on when you get sick of looking at your character, that's when
Yeah,
you're
that's
like,
when I'll go at it again.
I'll give him an extra arm. Maybe I can hold 3 guns now.
But yeah, it sounds like we've all been busy. But topics I want to talk about today was we're in the new month, which means new PlayStation Plus free games. Now,
Which means it has nothing to do with me because
yeah,
I'm the only one in this group that does not have PlayStation Plus. Or PlayStation 5 for that matter.
fair enough. But PlayStation Plus has always been a little kind of like, when it comes to the free games anyway, it's very hit and miss. Like I've got some really good games up there, and I've got some really
Of curiosity,
junk
when
games.
out of curiosity, when did you start PlayStation Plus? Like
Pretty much
the first
when I
time
first
ever?
got my PlayStation.
Same.
Yeah,
4 or PlayStation 3?
PlayStation 4. Because
Ah, okay, that's why.
you need PlayStation Plus to do any kind of
All
multiplayer.
right, yeah.
So you kind of just have to get it.
That's such a thing now that I forgot about it.
Yeah. But
The
they used
the
to
multiplayer
do
play.
2 games a month for free with PS4, and now with PS5 you get 3 games a month. But I'm not gonna lie, the games this month look terrible. And it's like,
The
is it
quality
really
of the
worth?
free games has been like going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually it
I-
was
I-
like, you get, it wouldn't be every month, but every other month you get like a really good title. Like I think I got Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham Knight once, and I was like, all right, like that's a decent game. Like it wouldn't be like a full blockbuster like $80 game that you get, but you get one that was like, you know, like a $60 or $50 game every now and again. But I don't know, for me, I haven't really seen any titles that stand out recently. Like, to give you an example of the games that came out for April, the games were
Outlaws and Legends.
Hood Outlaws and Legends, Slay the Spire, and SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. None of those games look remotely interesting whatsoever.
No, you're not down.
I've not even
down for
heard of
SpongeBob?
them as games. I only heard of SpongeBob just because
Yeah,
as well, SpongeBob.
but it's interesting to see from reading into this, they're still going to offer the free games when they expand to PlayStation Extra, or PlayStation Plus Extra, which will be Sony's rival to Game Pass. But if they're going to have games online to stream or to play or to download, like similar to Game Pass, for a fee, but then still give you free games, I wonder what the titles are going to be. Is it going to continuously be crappy games because you're already paying the fee to download the good ones anyway? Or are they going to give you the good games for free as included
No.
with your subscription?
No.
It'll
I think
be
they're just going to
different
stay with the
now.
model they have
Yeah.
now.
Once you have the
Like
ability
mostly
to...
crappy games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally they'll bait you with that really nice one, like
Yeah.
God of War or something.
Yeah.
The Last of Us.
I just don't know how much things are going to change once you have the access to download and play any of the PlayStation library that they'll put up, which will hopefully, knock on wood, include some really good titles. But if they're going to give you a free game every month, is it going to be a good one or a really crap one? Like,
No, I think, like, okay, Theo, you two might actually disagree with me, but like, I suppose I have a glass half full perspective on this, or hope on this, is that if you're gonna charge double, right? Because it's it's $59.99 for the year, right? And that's what most people
something
get.
like yeah,
right?
it's going up though
Right.
with extra.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The PlayStation, I believe it's called PlayStation Plus Extra, or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
Right.
PlayStation Plus Tier 2.
Right. If they want to like go that route, right? I think they do, because like the Game Pass, it's just all gas. It's all good games. Like
Mhm.
whatever that they have available for on the Microsoft side, you have access to it.
Yeah.
How can PlayStation justify, as big headed as they may be at times,
Mhm.
if they're gonna concede in creating a Game Pass competitor, right? In PlayStation Plus Extra or whatever it's gonna be called, like, and not at least actually come out with like good games more often than not, right? To have your subscribers have available to your subscribers. Why do it?
Yeah.
Why do it? It seems like you're just pissing people off to actually go down this route and not actually have the good stuff available to people.
So I'm trying to find it here. So I haven't really done much with Game Pass yet, but they also have a similar thing where you have Game Pass, you can stream games, download games, whatever, but they also still give you free games each month. And I did download I think last month or 2 months ago now. I just can't find it in the emails. But I remember, if I remember correctly, it wasn't bad games. It was like mid-tier games. But I can't find the titles here. But
wasn't that a Marvel one? The one that Fives kept raving about?
Oh no, that's just been released on Game Pass. But that's the other thing too. Game Pass have set themselves up really well that like when a new game hits, it's a really good game or something like that. So I don't know if like hopefully Sony goes the same direction and like they're really on the ball when it comes to new games being up on PlayStation Plus Extra. Like, so have to wait and see. Hopefully they've learned from the lessons that Microsoft have already had to learn and establish themselves, and they just go from there. But who knows at this point? Like,
I'll just give you guys a light history on the older PlayStation Plus then, since you guys didn't seem to be around for that. I only knew this because Fives had it the entire time. So PlayStation 3, PlayStation Plus, they actually had, I think, 2 games. Usually old blockbusters, so they were pretty good. Like, if you missed them back and missed them. And I think they, I know at least Devil May Cry, the Ninja Fury version, they released it like only maybe 3 or 4 months after the initial release. So it was a fucking good deal.
all right.
Yeah, so they had like really good shit at that time.
Yeah.
And they also gave 2 free PlayStation Vita games as well.
Oh wow. All right.
So it was quite a bundle. The only reason that you wouldn't get it is because you didn't need online for it. So if you didn't care about the games, well, you didn't need the service.
Yeah.
And then PlayStation 4 came around, and that's when the entire service started dropping the game quality because they could just you're forced to get it for online. So
Oh, and all the other games were going online anyway, so like it was just pretty much just like a guarantee. Like
yeah, guarantee that people would buy it anyways, regardless of what shit games they put on. Granted, at the beginning they did have some good games. It just kept going stonks down the closer it got to the end of the life cycle.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what turns out with PlayStation Plus Extra. And I mean, I'm hoping the game quality will improve, but who knows? And like for me, I always add the free games to my library because if you don't add them, then they're gone forever at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So it's
at
like
the same time, like recently, it just felt like, why even bother?
Yeah.
Am I really gonna touch this?
But like now my library's full of like 300 games and like about 200 of them are all just junk. Stuff I'm just not gonna play.
it should be easy to delete them then.
But then if I
You
delete
can't
them,
even
they're
delete
gone
them
forever.
off your library though.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's
You can't
the
delete them.
problem.
Yeah.
It's
Right, you're a
clogging up my
hacker, don't
good
you?
games.
You're a hoarder. You're a hoarder.
I
of
am a
games.
hoarder. But it's like they're giving you a free game every month. You might as well take it. Because you never know. One like years down the road, they'll be like, "This is a classic game," because I don't really know what it is. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll have a look at it. And I got it in my library for free. There you go." I don't know. It's just like if it's free, you might as well take it. But then there's a good chunk of that library that I don't think I'll ever touch, and it's just
Like
been from PS Plus. Yeah.
It's like that shitty free food at like a buffet or whatever. It's free food, but at the same time, it's like, do you really want to put it in your mouth?
But moving on from PlayStation Plus, more subscription services. GTA 5 has a new subscription service for their online multiplayer. It's different. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys are the multiplayer experts here. Is there any other games that have this kind of thing where you have a Final Fantasy? Yeah, you have to subscribe to actually play it. But with this, you can still play it for free. But if you pay them money every month as a subscription service,
Rockstar is just becoming a Korean MMO freaking.
But pay to win, isn't it pay to win like loot boxes and stuff? Like, oh, you want to win, but you're struggling. Okay, let me just buy this new gear.
Or like you want to win faster or something.
Yeah.
That's how Korean MMOs are like.
But this is
But
like just
So what's
a...
the
apparently like the grind of GTA 5 is just that intense, right? I haven't played right in a minute, and I don't remember how it's actually like. But so like apparently like paying this 5.99 or whatever how much it is allows like you get free like loot and like money or cash to actually
Yeah.
spend on your like on certain
Oh.
like completing certain dailies and
So
stuff,
it's
like it has dailies.
Oh, it's not.
It
It's
has
not
dailies
paid.
and monthlies and weeklies. Like what the freaking hell, dude? It's an
So-
MMO at this point, man. So I don't.
Or one of those cell phone games. Gotcha, cell phone games.
Yeah.
So to
man,
give you the details on it, it is $6 US every month, and it gives you 500,000 GTA dollars into your in-game bank account. You get, I don't know, is this some vehicles, a new auto shop. You get waived in-game fees on different things. You can upgrade some of your vehicles as well. Some more skins for vehicles, new paints and emblems for vehicles, bonus XP and money on different missions and things like that.
You know what this like this reminds me of, or what you're reading off? It reminds me of like season pass. It sounds like a season pass.
Yeah,
Like
it
you get
fully is a season pass.
thing games like Borderlands or some shit like that, right? Or like what's it called? Thing Legends.
League of Legends.
That first person shooter. Yeah, League. Not League.
Oh
of Legends.
no,
Fortnite?
First person.
That maybe Fortnite. Fortnite has also seasons. What the hell I'm talking about?
Okay.
I forgot the name.
Because I've seen
yeah,
lots
like
of different like add-ons, like especially when you scroll through like the PlayStation store, and it's like, oh, like expand your multiplayer games, and you can get this and you can get that. But like for me, it's the first time I see an actual like subscription service with a reoccurring cost to get bonus in-game stuff. I just don't know.
Specifically. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's always
Kind of
been
like
like
basically-
things you can just
that's
buy
even
on the
more
side,
pay to
but
win.
this is just an actual full-on subscription service just for a game.
Yeah, but like that's even more pay to win. I think that this is just like all
It's basically
pretenses
pay
out
to
the
not
window.
grind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like just all pretenses out the window.
And
It's just like,
Spice would
yeah,
love
you wanna
it.
win, want to win harder? Pay us the $6 a month, and then here you go.
Yeah.
Win
Whereas
harder.
I know Fies, I think he only leveled up one job in Final Fantasy from 1 to max. Every other job that he had was he just paid for it, got to level 70 straight away.
So seeing as
I can see the appeal for some people, definitely.
But he does content though,
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
seems to be like you're allowed to like just allows you to just like get cash, because usually how you get cash in this game, like you do robberies, you do missions, right?
You do
to
lots of
actually
missions.
earn.
You grind
This-
basically. Yeah.
That's content.
Yeah.
That's content, right? You go and actually do stuff to actually earn this like this loot that you go to spend on the stuff that you want.
Mhm.
Like Ice does content to get the items and get the weapons that he wants. He does the dungeons, he does the raids, right? This stuff like you just pay whatever, and then like you just get to do all the fun stuff. Like,
Yeah.
minus all the actual gameplay.
For us anyway, we don't really play GTA Online. Like I mess around with it every now and again, but then I get killed by 12-year-olds and I kind of just give up after that. But if they introduce something similar for like Final Fantasy, for example, like you're already spending how much it is for the actual subscription to the game to play online, but if they came up with $5 a month and you get things similar to like with the pre-order bonus of like Minfilia's earrings, or you get extra XP and cash and things like that. Is that something that you would consider doing? Like, if you have an extra subscription to Final Fantasy, I can like level up things better or get cooler stuff. Like,
I would not, but I definitely know people that would like. They would pay for it so that they don't have to enter a roulette ever again.
Yeah,
I know people that.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this takes off then with GTA. Like, if there's definitely other multiplayer games out there that people would be interested in this kind of thing, Interesting to see how well it does with GTA 5 because it is one of the biggest multiplayers out there right now.
If this actually like is successful, even semi-successful, other developers with other like subscription service-based games is definitely gonna do this.
Oh, I don't think it's a matter of that. They already know it's successful because there are people have done it before. That is,
and GTA 5. Well, GTA itself, GTA Online is their moneymaker. GTA 5 and everything else isn't. It's just standalone stuff now. It's online is where they're making all their money from. So.
I remember the shortcuts even on PlayStation 4 were so fucking expensive.
Yeah. But moving on from
GTA had pay to win.
Yeah.
No idea.
Pay to win all the way.
Moving on from GTA, one of the newest games that have come out is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Have you guys ever played any of the?
You're two are the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, but I didn't even know.
Have you played any of the like Lego games at all?
No.
Yeah. So this one,
the Batman one a bit.
Yeah. So usually it's like, I mean, I don't know what some of the newer ones are like, but in my experience, they've always been like semi-open world, but very like platformy kind of like, more like this, you get bumped into one level and you do that one level kind of thing. But it seems like with this one, they've definitely expanded it a lot, and it's a lot more open world than before. And they've already had Lego games for the different movies already for like the original 6, but then I think they already did have a few for, I don't know if they did all 3 of the sequels, but they definitely did 1 and 2. But instead of like just like bundling all of them into one package, they've actually just went and remastered everything, rewritten everything from the ground up, and made their own kind of just big Lego Star Wars game. But it's interesting to see for like a comic-y kind of game like the Lego games are, like the work they went into it. It seems pretty interesting, and it's getting some really good reviews. It's got on Metacritic an 83 from the reviewers and 8.8 as a user score.
It's a decent pitch that you have like going on here to try to sell us to try to get these Lego games, man. But I'm not quite sure it's gonna be up my alley, like really. Especially the open world aspect is actually is interesting, but like I'm not quite sure, like with the Lego games, because like the Lego games like they've always been a comedic kind of twist, to their like to their thing, right? I remember that, but I just it just never really gripped me like in that way.
But I've seen like a lot of reviews are very mixed. A lot of them were saying it's not worth it. They didn't do too good of a like effort with it. And then some people are like, "Oh yeah, it's the best Lego game ever." So it'd be interesting.
But that's the thing, right? Like people who are into the Lego like Star Wars games, they're like really like diehard fans. Like I also remember that about it, right? Like people could be lukewarm towards it, but the people who actually do like it, they love it, right? So it's probably that.
But it's got, from when I was watching the trailers and reading some of the reviews before it was released, you can like have your own ship and you just fly around the galaxy. Like you're not stuck in like one area like all the other games have been, or like following like the story of like that one movie. So you can just kind of do whatever you want. Fly around in your X-Wing, well, Lego X-Wing, zooming around the galaxy. Yeah, by all means, off you go. So I just don't know if I want to spend.
So it sounds like a fun Star Wars game.
Yeah, I just don't know if I want to spend $90 on it. It's a Lego game too, and Lego games are usually on sale. Like you scroll through any of the sales that they have for all sorts of different ones on the PlayStation Store, you could always find a Lego one there somewhere.
That sales you probably see on PS Plus.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll spend $90 on it, but I'm definitely interested in playing it for sure.
The Lego games, like the way it looks like it's kind of like a bit of an old school methodology where like instead of putting all the efforts into all those realistic graphics or whatever, they instead redirect all those resources into making like a creative sort of looking world kind of thing. Like it's a bit more of an old school style that they're.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see how they take the concept of like more of like level, like is it like what's the word, like platforming kind of game and like standalone like section kind of game to more of like an open world concept. But yeah, I'm just not spending full price on it. Like I can't justify that for a Lego game. I could do it for like Horizon, sure, but not Lego. Lego is
Oh,
something
yeah,
that you
man.
play when it's like, 2 a.m, you're super bored and you don't want to dive into a major game right now, and it's like, yeah, I'll mess around on this. Or you got a bunch of friends over and you got extra controllers and they're like, yeah, let's mess around on this.
It's co-op.
Most of them are co-op, yeah. You get 2-player.
Oh, I think I.
Or it's a
That's
game
kinda
that
cool.
like, your little cousins come in to visit and you're like, yeah, let's play some video games. We'll play a Lego game. There you go. And it's
Oh,
still
that may
fun
be
for
why people buy
adults.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good
I
for
didn't
kids,
realize.
but it's also like it's a
Wow.
good family game where it's like, that you still enjoy it as an adult and they love it because, it's toys on a video game. But yeah.
I can see people getting it for $90 if they got kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a little brother and
That
it's like,
and the die-hard Star Wars fans are definitely going for
oh
it.
yeah.
But yeah, maybe give it some time. I'm sure it'll drop in price and I'll definitely try it out. But apart from that, some other housekeeping stuff that I also forgot to mention. We have some new streams up on our YouTube channel for Elden Ring. We'll have a Moon Knight episode 2 review up very, very soon, because episode 3 is dropping on Wednesday, so we'll get moving on that one as well when it comes out. Apart from that, I think we have some other streams coming up with maybe Among Us, maybe Tiny Tina's. But yeah, check out our channel. We'll have lots of new content coming up soon. But apart from that, I think we are all good, gents. Thank you for coming to discuss these topics with me. It was a little different this week. But we will be all back to normal next week. But,
gotta mix it up.
Yeah.
For next time.
But, well, if you stuck with us for this long, thanks for watching. And again, you can find all our content on YouTube, Patreon, and audio versions on our podcast services on Spotify and Apple. And definitely subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, if you want updates on all our cool stuff that we're putting up online.
Hit that bell.
Yep, hit that bell for sure. And yeah, if you really like our stuff, find us on Patreon. You'll get some exclusive content just for the special subscribers. But, all right. Well, see you guys later.
Sending nothing but good vibes, as our fan would say.
Next time.
See you guys.